Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so walking down the street, feeling good. I got my bread now. Gonna head back to the crib, to the hotel room rather, and eat that bread and enjoy this day. Maybe even get back out and do something else with my time. Not really sure how this day gonna play out, but I can tell you this. I'm gonna win this war against my mind today. I'm definitely gonna do that. You know, if you guys been following me, you know I've been struggling with my mental depression has been kicking in pretty hard over the last 2 days. You know what I mean? But I've also felt very blessed to have a connection with God, to have so much substance to share with you guys in regards to the different things that we've been talking about. My channel has grown in a greater pace than it has in any time that I've been doing this channel over the last 3 days while I've been depressed. Y'all been pressing subscribe more than you ever have, and I'm telling you, it's making a difference. It's making me want to keep going. It's making me want to give you better content, etc. And I'm giving you the open, raw truth about how I've been doing, which is not very good at all, man. Not good. I've been deeply depressed about various different things that ain't really being thought of the right way now that I start to decompress from that period of depression. I also remind myself that today's the 13th, and at 3 o'clock I have my therapy session, allegedly, supposedly, hypothetically, if she calls. Shout out to Keenan Grace. But that's really what it is. Like, hopefully we can connect today, and we can kind of talk about some things that I really probably need to discuss. But I know that that's not the type of therapist she is. She has too many people to talk to be zeroing in on one kid, man. But I just want to say that because it rhymed. But nevertheless, you know what I mean? That's the spirit of just the circumstance. When you don't have a lot of money, your therapy isn't going to be catered to you. Now, if I was rich, then they could dig into my mind, maybe get a bunch of therapists together, have a whole team of people try to study what the hell's going on with me. That's probably what it is this brain actually needs. But I think that's the point of me doing this therapy session thing, man. So that all the people who follow therapy sessions, every therapist who may click on me can assess me, not just the ones that are in my presence, but the whole world. Anybody that even clicks on my head who's interested in people talking about themselves in this way can assess what the heck I got going on, because I want you to. I really want you to. I'm an open book for the whole world to see. And maybe that leaves me unsafe, maybe that leaves me looking crazy. I don't care, man, because I will be gone for a lot longer than I'll be here. So this is what I have to leave. So, you know, it is what it is, how I look at it, man. I think it's going to be something to be said for people who have the ability to articulate themselves very well, creativity and all these different things, but can't do simple tasks. I'm one of those. But even more so, I don't know that what I'm thinking of simple is simple, but more so just good decisions as pertains to making $1 for myself. You know, so the value money the right way, and to do with it what should be done, and things of that nature. That requires a certain level of mental poise that I haven't often found. And so I think I could work right now. I could probably do a shift right now. If you ask me if I feel like I'm not going to be depressed for having to come back the next day, probably going to be depressed for coming back the next day. So that's what it is, man. I'm fighting depression right now, man. And but it's not the same as it was when I was over on the side of Inglewood side of town, because at that place I felt like I couldn't walk down the street. I felt like I couldn't leave the house. I felt isolated. I stayed in the house for a year straight. And although I've done that a couple times in my life, it was really bad at this particular era of my life that I just exited. And so I'm telling y'all that, you know, this mental health thing is a real thing, but at the same time, so is my confidence in other areas of my life. So I give you that too. But, you know, I think for me, what I was talking about before I walked in there was just my good friend Kay, just not really being present during the most difficult time of my life, and me having to try to figure out why that is on my own, because there's no communication. And I'm not trying to paint her out to be somebody that's anything less than just doing whatever the heck she got to do in her life. This is normal for us. I didn't set a precedent for anything different, but when it comes to me going through this, you just want the people that you care about in the way that you care about them to be a little more in the midst, and that's just not her personality. You know, that's just not who she is, and I knew that. You know what I mean? I've known that. We've made that clear to each other who we are, and she accepts me for all my differences. I just have a hard time with the temperament that I have dealing with hers sometimes. And we've talked about that too. And she always tells me, I love you for life. You know what I mean? Don't give up. I need you in this life. And I believe her, but at the same time, I think we have different definitions of need. We have different definitions and maybe different wants for the friendship or what have you. And I just am not equipped to really be competitive in our life as it pertains to who else may be available to help fulfill the void of something other than friendship. I just don't know that I can actually, from where I'm at, do anything for her. And that's what we were talking about on the way to the mart. I just got to be honest about that. What am I really bringing into that girl's life other than friendship? What am I really asking for her other than to be a dependent? To basically tack on energy that ain't no good probably for her or anyone else. Probably, I'm not better off alone, but I'm probably better off not dragging people into my nonsense. And so trying to deal with that, for which is a constant. It's not like she's in my life, which is another reason why I know my mental health ain't right. You attach to somebody you ain't seen in a while, you talk to a lot, but ain't seen in a while. It just ain't real. It ain't real. So I gotta be honest about that. And I gotta just tack that to yet another problem that I have mentally that I need to overcome. I hope the Lord will give me this mental strength and the spiritual strength to not project onto her something that is not. That simply is not. And so I'm thankful that the Lord has given me self-awareness to know that I struggle with stuff that I probably shouldn't even be struggling with based on what it is that it's always been. But when you're the type of person I am, your conditioning is that of not having people close to you. You can love people that you ain't seen in years because it's how I am with everybody. So what I'm used to in regards to the human interactions in my life make it so that my position on people is skewed. I can have a dependency to you and haven't seen you in a year. That kind of stuff is just not normal, but it's based on what I'm used to. And I got to be real about that too. It ain't just my mental health, it's conditioning of the mind and what has been normal all of my life versus what is normal to others. And so that's true. I want her to be happy, man. I don't want her to have to forego what makes her happy so that I can be fulfilled in the little weird ways that I need that fulfillment. No, what I want the Lord to do is help me through that so that I'm not bringing any of that nonsense to her. That's what I'm hoping he'll do. Take what it is in me that isn't pointed the right direction and make it so that it ain't pointed at my loved ones, her or anybody else. And so, do I want to be alone? Nah, but am I probably better off not dragging people into my stuff? Probably. So if you were to happen to meet my friend Kay, don't hold her accountable for not being here, because I think she's probably best to stay away from me in regards to how I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm not doing well. So what can I really do for her? But pray for her, pray with her, send her good energy by way of the text and stuff like that when we are able to communicate. And the rest is her business to live her life the way she wants to, man. If she don't want to be with some crazy black dude, God bless her. I agree with you. I really agree with you, friend. I really agree with you. She's going to find a great man of her own ilk and her own walk of life that fits her world, that matches her vibe or whatever that is. And I'm going to move on into my life into whatever purpose the Lord has for me, continuing to want for myself what is not meant for me, apparently. That's what it seems like I'm destined for. But, that's what it is, man. That's exactly what's going on right now. I've been very down about that. I've been warring with myself in regards to how I should feel about her absence in my life as it pertains to what I'm used to, which is constant absence anyway, to be honest with you. But the heart wants what it wants, and I can tell you the truth, my heart ain't pointed in the right direction, and I don't think it usually is. When I choose people that I want to spend time with, it usually ain't pointed in the right direction. So that's just what it is, man. I want the Lord to help me heal from that, hold accountability for that, not be so self-centered, selfish, and possessive as to think that I deserve anything more or less than that. And because of that, I think the Lord will bless me with what it is I'm asking for, because I do want better for others, even if it's in my natural instincts to want more for myself. But I'm gonna work on being a better friend to her, man. I'm gonna work on being a better friend as it pertains to not allowing myself to feel negatively about her when she needs to be away from me for whatever choices she must make. That I support those choices. That I support that she protect her energy, even if it means protecting her from me. and all of that crap that I got going on. So God bless the girl, you know what I'm saying? If you really love somebody, you love them for them, not for you. And I really love that person there for her. So that's what it is, man. That's the truth. And as far as everything else, I don't know. I should have already been doing rideshare. I should have already had me a job on the side of town. I should have already did this and that and the third, and none of it's been done, and it's my fault. I'm okay with that. I don't hate myself for that. All of that is just what it is, and the consequences of that I have to live with. And the support that I've been given, I don't feel like I've taken advantage or for granted, but I have behaved in a way that could be equated that way, especially with my grandfather and my uncle's money. I really have, man. I have failed myself in regards to representing myself positively in their life as it pertains to them helping me and me doing what I should with it. But I promise you I didn't believe that I was going to do that. I promise you I never thought for 1 second that I would ask them for something and not intend to do right with it this time. Not at all. I just failed, man. That's all. It's just a mental health kick in my butt, like it's always done. And then I find someone to point all of that sadness and that energy at when it's really just me. It ain't Kay, it ain't nobody else, it's me. It's me. I'm depressing myself by not winning these battles, man. Depressing myself by letting shit get this bad and over leveraging myself in AMC and counting on it to do what it isn't doing, which is going up and making me a wealthy guy. It's not doing that. It's supposed to do that. It may do that. But it just may very well be me succumbing to my mental health before that ever happened. And that's what it looks like to me right now. Like I'm gonna probably die, literally die, before the squeeze because I can't make it from now until then. That's what I feel like. That's exactly how I'm feeling as I'm walking down the street. Like I don't know if I'm gonna make it. So that's what I've been open about all day long. That's the kind of stuff I've been thinking about. Now that I'm not pointing that sadness in the direction of my empty heart, but more so in the direction of my empty decision making and how it's not giving me nothing that's gonna help me out of this circumstance. And if I didn't want to succeed, believe me, I wouldn't be talking like this. I definitely want to win this battle. For no other reason to be a better example to all of y'all than I'm able to be when I'm not doing what I should. But defining what I should when you're thinking like this can be a lot of different things. What I think I should be doing is if I'm not going to do what I'm supposed to be doing, then turn on the camera and telling y'all that. If I'm not going to do what I'm supposed to be doing, then doing as much art as my mind can allow me to do, doing as much playlist work and all this other stuff that I always talk to you about. That's also what I'm supposed to be doing. It's what I feel like I'm here to do on this life, in this life. So I'm doing a lot of that and I'm proud of that. But man, am I struggling. I'm so struggling with my mind, y'all. And it ain't for no other reason than I'm just not putting myself in a position to reflect the best version of myself onto the people that I love the most. I feel like I'm letting them down. I feel like I'm doing the same old tired song that I'm sure they tired of because I'm tired of it too. And then you start thinking about the ego aspect of it. It's like, wow, you know, you really aren't better than this. That's what you end up telling yourself. Like, wow, you really just ain't, you really are sick. Like, that's it. And how to absorb that when considering the absence of somebody you want in your life. That's what I've been struggling with. It's like, well, she probably is better without me. She probably is better ghosting me. She probably is better going with somebody else or whatever she chose to do with her time in her life. And I thank her for not just trying too hard and then find herself unhappy in my presence. I don't want that. I don't want that at all, man. I see people walking down the street, couples, they happy. If she couldn't feel that way next to me, then why the heck would I want that for her or for myself? So that's just what it is, man. I just got to do a better job of being a better me, and then hopefully I can attract what's best for me that ain't going to feel like it's something longing that ain't there or wanting something that ain't coming or whatever the hell it is. Too old for that anyway. So that's what it comes down to, man. The struggle of the life I'm living and trying to be better. It's not really seeing better in myself like I want to. But I'm still fighting, I'm still stomping, I'm still talking, I'm still praying, I'm still doing all the different things that I'm proud of in that midst. But as far as what I need to do to be a better person for what it is that is going on in my life, I just gotta be real and say I'm failing at that, man. I'm failing to meet the urgency of the circumstance, and I'm failing without my friend. Without that particular friend who always motivates me to do more when she's able to. Was always there to tell me to keep going. I think I'm missing that. But it's not my place to demand that. It's my place to appreciate it when it's there, though it's rare, you know? When it's there. I call it my momentum, you know? Because that's what she does. She gives me the momentum to push harder. On my workouts, I end up having better days when I hear from that lady. But there are going to be days where I can't hear from that lady. And so that's what makes those moments more valuable. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. God got all of the love that he put in her heart to give to me, and he going to give to me in some other way. And I'm open to that. That's what I want to tell all of y'all. It's like I said in regards to a different conversation. If all the good things come from God, then you can't worry about the vessel from which those good things come. You got to look at the source itself and just say, please rain down some more. Because I need more motivation. I need more encouragement. I need maybe even a woman in my life that can be a backbone for me. You know, and maybe I'm pointing in the wrong direction. Maybe I'm asking for somebody who can't do that for me. Maybe she needs to be there for somebody else, and that needs to be okay. But at the end of the day, what I cannot do is let depression continue to ruin me further from here because of stuff that I don't even really have a hold on in my mind. Really don't have a hold on that. So it just is what it is, man. And also, I ain't got no weed. A lot of these conversations would not be being had because I get to check out mentally when I smoke. And because of my financial situation, I've chosen not to smoke. That's the reality of it as well. Half of these problems ain't even in place because I smoke weed when I feel like this. And I ran out of that about a week ago. So I think that's also catered to my depression, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think that's the one thing that's missing that otherwise would not have been there. Or would have been there, rather. But the discipline to keep doing what I gotta do and not smoke weed and save that money instead is in place. Even though there's a weed spot right across the street that I can go to at any time, I do not put myself in a position to waste money on stuff that otherwise is gonna burn. I can't see myself doing that, even though I pretty much think I need it, honestly. But whatever the case, I'm back at the hotel. I'll holler at y'all when I get inside. BDF 44.